Whoopsies. Oh, God. Great companies. I play for keeps. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Wait, I can't hear you. Maybe, give me a second. Wait, I can't hear you. I see your mouth moving, but I can't hear you. I don't think it's on my end because I have the volume up. Unless... no, I have you at max volume. So it's definitely not me. Hey, buddy. What's up, Ivanistin 84. All right, I'm going to stop doing chess puzzles here. I was just doing chess puzzles while I waited for Sean to finish his workout. But yeah, I can't hear you, bro. There's no sound. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's no sound on my end at all. Yeah, no, I no idea. Unless it's on my end somehow, but I normally I should be able to hear you. Yeah, I don't have you on mute or anything. What's going on? Yeah, you're gonna have to text. You're gonna have to. Yeah, I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Would it be on my end? Let me just change something real quick. All right. No, I still can't. Yeah. Drop out and then come back in. Yeah. Yeah, we're just doing some technical stuff here.
You hear me now?
Oh, now what the hell? That's so weird. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Now it's working?
That's weird.
It might have been on my end. I had an audio issue whenever my pluggable multi-screen thing has been. What that's all about. So I got that off now.
I was a little confused. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. You know. Heck. Unplug it, plug it back in. Blow in the cartridge. That's how you get it to work.
It worked. It worked, ladies and gentlemen. Plug and unplug. Alright, so welcome to the Shaw and Shade show here. Maybe one day we'll get someone else with a SH in their name, but
yeah, right.
We had a pretty bad week, right? Pretty bad week.
Pretty bad.
Understatement. Yeah, no, it was pretty bad, but whatever. We get to buy nice and cheap. People have been asking me, is next week going to be green because this week was so bad, and I'm like, who knows? We have NVIDIA reporting earnings next week. We have, I think Powell is speaking as well, and we have Fed data coming, I think. So there's just a lot of it's probably going to be very volatile next week. And that's just what it is. What it is. Buy the discounts. That's my thought process. What are your thoughts on this week?
Oh, absolutely. I think this is pretty close to a bottom from here. But you're exactly right. I agree 100% with the volatility. You know, with the government back open, there's going to be different data coming out. There's so much uncertainty out there. Yeah, when people start talking, emotions are going to be all over the place. So we're going to have green. We're going to have red. So if you can, play the volatility this week, but I think we're about ready to be on the upward after the next week or two. We'll see.
Well, that's what he's hoping for. I looked at the Bitcoin chart and I'm like, it needs to break that downtrend. There's this. Let me pull up the charts here. Yeah. I'm gonna cover his face. Boom. Goodbye face. But
pretty face.
Screw those blue eyes. All right, Bitcoin. As you can see right here on the daily time frame, we are still trending to the downside. Until we break that, it's unfortunately no time to be bullish. If anything, we get maybe a relief rally to the upside, touch the trend line, and continue lower because that's literally what it's done every single time. So yeah, until we break out of that downtrend, there's no reason to be bullish. I would expect some upside next week, but again, with all the catalysts and everything, it's just going to be very volatile both directions. If we just keep tanking Monday, Tuesday, if we just keep going down, that's a bad sign for potential bear market, I would say.
I would have to agree. If we have multiple days where it's just down, 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 we might be in a little worse place than we think we are. Uh, I don't think that's going to happen, but it's the market. We got to be adaptable. So we'll see. Still, if you're sitting on dry powder, like I know I'm the worst person to freaking the way I manage my own account's been a nightmare, but I'm pretty decent at telling other people how to manage theirs. But yeah, don't put all your dry powder in. There's some pretty good levels on some stuff, like Soundhound and different things. But we could come lower, especially in tech. It's AI stuff. Everybody's still concerned with it. So Soundhound can drop another $2 for sure from here. We could be in the tens. We could be back in the single digits on sound. It's very volatile.
You know what? I have to interrupt you here. I have to interrupt you here. So, what are your thoughts on good old MSTR and BMNR as
Yeah,
well? As well, it's I would say they're underperforming very badly, especially
absolutely.
BMNR.
I mean, yes. Yeah, BMNR, I mean, that's the one. BMNR is your that's such a hard play to judge for a long period of time because we don't know how the company is going to work fully with its Ethereum holdings. But Tom Lee, I mean, I know that he's not the end all be all, but he's very smart and knows the economy. Long term, I trust him, and Ethereum's a great asset. So I think this has a very good possibility to do well, but it's also a long shot because we don't know how the company is going to be ran since it's fairly new on the market. Company is going to MSTR. Gee, many Christmas. Everybody knows I've been getting obliterated on this thing. And but the really cool thing about it is it's so daggone low and we're in that close to that 180 range. I don't think we're gonna drop out of 180, but if we do, ooey, it's gonna look bad. I think we're gonna go down to like the geez, potentially 150 to 120 ranges, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But MSTR's fundamentals just keep getting better and better and better. So it's a great, solid long-term company, but in the short term, geez, it's just a nightmare. And right now, it's still showing nothing but downside. But man, I am so concerned with all this oversold RSI. I have never seen the RSI this oversold ever. Like we're talking 2022 is when the RSI was this low. That's bear market. We're not in a bear market.
Yeah. Also, didn't you mention a death cross?
Yeah. It death crossed. Let's see here. Back on October 22nd. And I kind of ignored it like an idiot. So never ignore that entirely. We thought it might have been a fake out because there was a little bit of a green candle. Could have been coming up, but yeah, there was a death cross just 2 weeks ago. So very concerning. Very, very concerning. Until we actually turn around on the charts and show some strength. This I got a downtrend marked on my charts. I see this isn't going to break out of its downtrend until it gets back close to $300 a share. That's what I got. Yeah, it's a pile of crap right now.
I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, my goodness, that death cross is real. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the death cross marks a bottom. Because if you look at every death cross we've had, it's always marked a bottom, and then we go higher. The only time there's an exception is the bear market of 2022.
Right. So I agree with your analysis on that. If we enter a bear market, this thing's going to die. This thing will probably come down to $100 a share, and Bitcoin will probably drop into the 70s. That's going to be a bad time. I don't know. It's possible. It's very, very possible. volatile assets. You can do that, no problem. I don't. I want to say that it's not going to, but the charts right now are saying, it could. So, exercising caution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Jason Rev 4982 in the chat. Are we pulling out on Monday and repositioning? Hell no. I got cash for days, so I'm good. I can keep averaging down on my favorites, Soundhound, APLD, and yeah. So for those of you who don't know, when stocks are crashing right now at this point, I'm focused on Soundhound, APLD, and a few others, but Soundhound, APLD are like the big. Those are the big ones that I'm focusing on. Pretty much anything AI. Crypto. Joey Shaw here. What stocks are you focusing on for this crash?
I'm definitely. I got a trade on Mara, and I also have Hims. I really like Hims. I know you don't like healthcare, and it's going to be volatile, but Hims crushed its earnings. It's crushed earnings, geez, quarter over quarter. So it dropped outside of its support, but it's bouncing off another support line at 35. It's come up. I'm looking for a swing on this thing back to somewhere between 50 and 70. I'd like to take it back to 60, but I'll consider profit taking around 50, depending upon, the market. But I love Soundhound too. I don't have a trade on it. I have long-term shares on it. But if Soundhound comes down below 10, I'm going to try and find some money. But right now, I'm kind of tapped out.
Yeah, what Jason Rev said, Jason Rev in the chat, he's like APLD sound and so yeah. I couldn't think of SoFi. I'm like, what was the other one? I don't remember. There's just so many that I want to buy there's so much opportunity when everything drops. For people who who didn't blow their wad buying at the top, I guess. But yeah, isn't it funny, Joey Shaw, how the cycles repeat every single time?
Oh, I do. It's crazy. Like, I mean, yeah, I love SoFi too. And then just like Shades was saying, there's so many different opportunities out there. You can get shiny object syndrome real quick. So pick your favorite conviction plays and stick with 3 or 4, whatever it is in your budgeted account. Because if you're just gonna go everywhere, you're not gonna make as much money and you're gonna get confused and you're gonna do what I do and destroy your account.
And not only that, but if you're buying like 10, 20 different stocks, that's hard to manage, right? Like you have to keep track now of 10 to 20 earnings. You have to keep an eye on everything and make sure everything's up to snuff. Whereas if you pick like 3 to 4, that's manageable. That's another thing that people forget. Just pick 3 or 4 and stick to that.
Yeah, I agree. And then I agree with DCA in right now. So if you got, a grand laying around or 10 grand laying around or whatever, and you want to put in that Soundhound, throw 20% in now, set another lot around, geez, I'm looking at the chart, maybe 11. There's a little bit of support at 11, and then 10, and put a bigger chunk in at 10. So ladder it down because we don't know where this is going to go, and Soundhound is volatile. You could sell options to make income while you're attempting to get into it on a lower price, but I might even just set limit orders because we are volatile and Soundhound could spike down real quick and spike back up. It likes to do that. So limit orders might be better than puts. Depends on what you want to do. So if you're looking for income, I would sell puts, but if you're looking for entry, I'd set limit orders.
Yeah, but by the way, are you in Sybil stock by any chance?
I am not in Sybil, but I keep seeing you post about it, and I've had people following Sybil for a decade. What's going on with it?
Nobody knew when earnings was, and people were getting desperate because it just kept dropping along with the markets. And finally, buyers showed up at 002s, 003s, and looks like that's going to be probably the bottom at 002s. So they came out with the quarterly earnings, and they're fine. They basically said, "Sorry, guys, it's just that there was a government shutdown, and we're a company that relies on government contracts, the government being open, so they didn't really they just couldn't get things going like they would like, and that's not their fault. That it's not like they can make the government open or close. So it's just a lot of people just panicking because it's going down, and I'm just and I'm just buying more.
That's a really good point. Like you said, that wasn't their fault. So when we're in the market and something like that, something affects a stock price and it's not the company's fault, that means there's generally nothing fundamentally wrong with it. So when stuff like that happens and we tank off, like I mean, geez, even Soundhound was at $20 not that long ago, and now we're at 12. Nothing the company did. Company reported pretty decent earnings. So that's an inefficiency in the market, and then you can spot those and then run them back up to high over the next couple of months. It's very
Yeah,
important.
I wanted to call you out here real quick because that's kind of funny to me. It's funny to me that you're willing to take risks on like, oh, I'm gonna buy MST or I'm gonna buy BMNR calls, and like you would think or I would think that like Sybil stock would be like up your alley. Like hell yeah, risky penny stock worth less than a penny, copper penny on the ground. It can go hundreds of percentages. You'd be buying actually cheaper than me too, by the way. Because if you were to buy a 003s, 002s, you're literally having a lower average just off the bat. That's just something that crossed my mind. Like it's right up your alley in terms of risk, unless you see it as just too risky, I guess. But that would just be funny.
No, it's not too risky. I mean, Sybil's, I mean, it won't come, I don't think Sybil's ever going to come off the OTC market. I mean, it's been there for ever. Like I said, I've been following that stock for well over 5 years, or at least known about it. But no, you're right. I have to make better. I don't make the best execution choices in my own account. I'm better at seeing it in other people's account, and like learning how to do that uh, now. So, and like you said, I'm a terrible listener apparently. Not sure why, but I'm getting better.
Let me add, Jason Rev just asked, how do you guys feel about Uber? It's at the purple line. I'm looking at the technicals, and oh, by the way, yeah, 30% down. Every time it hits a high, drops 30%. Hits a high, drops 30%. Hits another high, we would expect it to do the same, and it always drops 30% and comes under the purple line. So it's kind of a pattern, right? It always hits this new high and drops 30%. So if that's going to repeat, I would say wait and see if it actually comes down 30%, which would be about $70. Yeah, $70.
Yeah, if it's gonna follow that pattern, you taking it from the high shades? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean 30% drop is like you said about $70. Um, Purple line sitting around 87. So I mean we could have a bounce there, but if it's historically dropping that far off of all those highs, it's hard to fight history.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against the historical pattern. So Jason Rev, I just wait and let it come down. I don't know why you would even want to buy this. It's kind of there's better opportunities that have better price action,
Jeez.
quite frankly.
I'm looking at this thing. I'm half tempted to put a put on it. Put.
Oh, you want to short it?
Yeah, the 13 is under the 50. The 5 crossed under the 13. This is classic. This is coming back down. And if it doesn't hold, if it doesn't bounce here, it's definitely coming down to the purple line for sure. You got a $4 short on this, I think minimum, even to catch this little support right there around 85 from previous. Who knows though? We're in a volatile time, but yeah, it doesn't look great
All
right
right.
now.
So, did you hear the story that about Trucker Jeff being at an IHOP, and he overheard like a 20-year-old teenager, or not teenager, 20-year-old college student. He bought crypto like a shitcoin near the highs, and his dad was like, "Oh, that's risky," and Trucker Jeff was like, "Oh my God, this is the top. We need to sell."
Yeah, it was funny. I think he messaged me and we were talking about that thing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." It was like classic, like son, father disconnect too. Like the father's like crypto's risky as crap, and the son's like, no, that's what's going to be the future. So it was a very interesting conversation to have with Jeff.
Yeah, I was like, if regular people at an IHOP of all things are talking about crypto, it's or stocks, it's time to get out and they can hold the bag.
Yeah. Also, I think if Uber drops below 82, it's going to fall. It's going to fall at about 77.
Yeah, Uber just like I said, I don't know. Sometimes people ask me questions about stocks that I'm like, why would you buy this? Look at the price action; it's pretty. This looks like AMD.
Even though I screamed about that and it tripled this year.
Wait a minute.
And
Let's
I
look.
was
Let's
like,
look at AMD. Let's look at AMD. Is it coming back down again? Because that would be so shitty. That would be
it
so
did come
shitty.
down, but it's holding up fairly well. It's holding up about as much as NVIDIA is the last time I checked it, anyhow. No, it's doing well.
It would be so
Um,
unfortunate if it broke out of like this yearly trend, this yearly sideways action, and then just came right back down under it.
yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, we do have a MACD cross under, but it's holding up pretty well. I don't know. It needed to cool off a little bit from all the good news from running. This chart looks pretty good to me. We might come back down to the 50 in some volatility, but we break that 50, we're gonna fall. We could fall back under 200, but I don't know. This chart looks fairly strong, and the company's strong. I like AMD.
I think it's going to hinge on earnings from Nvidia because we got that
Yeah.
coming this week. So
Hmm. Yeah, it's
uh,
gonna have a sympathy, whatever, with NVIDIA for sure, up or down.
someone in the chat said RGTI is experiencing a decline, and while I initially anticipated the stock would stabilize at 30, it appears it may take a considerable amount of time to regain its recent peak. What do you think?
Stay the fuck away from quantum computing.
Don't say that. There's money to be made on this is better than your MSTR. Let me put this guy in his place. RGTI, right? Look, Joey Shaw, let me show you something. Look at that. It creates a new high, right? Am I wrong?
Where are you? I'm not seeing your screen.
Oh, I thought you were looking at my screen, you
I'm looking
bastard.
at charts. Yeah, I'm got it up right now. Yeah. You know what this looks like to me though?
What?
Neo 5 years ago.
I don't
That's what
follow
this looks like.
I don't follow
Never.
Neo.
Neo was it's a EV. 5 years ago, EVs Neo went from like $2 to $60, and then crashed, and then came all the way back up. I don't think there's definitely money to be made in quantum computing, but I don't think it's ready yet, and there's no revenues and stuff there. They're not generating income. Um, so it's volatile, but you can definitely make money on these spikes. But right now, five's crossing the 50, or the 13's crossing the 50, which is extremely bearish. But we're also right there above the 200. I think
But
this is
yeah,
definitely coming down to
are we at the purple line, Joey Shaw?
no,
Wrong, we are.
not on my chart. Mine's sitting at my purple line's sitting at 21. Stock's sitting at 25.
Maybe different calculation, I don't know, but
What's your? Hold on.
yeah, it's a buy.
Maybe
It's a buy. Mr. What's your name? Sharma. It's a buy. It's a buy, but you got to be you're taking a little more risk because this one does not have growing revenues like Ion Q. So I would say it's a buy. Right now, you're getting it at a massive discount from highs of 50. You're getting literally like 50% discount. Your average is at 14, so you shouldn't be concerned other than unless we go into a bear market, then you might have to be concerned because then it might come down to your average. But barring a bear market, this should come back to like at the very least previous highs. And I'm assuming you had an average of 14, held it all the way up to 58, did not take profit being up like 4x or 3x, and you decided to hold because you were hoping for 100 or something, and now you're holding it all the way down, which unfortunately happens to a lot of people because they get very greedy. But yeah, I would say, well, since your average is at 14, you just gotta hope there's no bear market that comes down to your average. And on top of that, if it does continue to have these cycles of hype on quantum, it should see a higher high at around 75, I would say, because that's just what quantum keeps doing. It just keeps going up. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Quantum is not, these companies don't really have a product as service, but people love the quantum hype, and as long as the hype keeps coming back, we're just gonna keep getting these huge pumps. Your thoughts, Joey Shaw?
I think it's coming down. I think it's coming to 20. The charts look like garbage. Now we're getting close to an oversold RSI, so we could have a bounce. And this thing does. I mean, you're right. The hype. This thing was oversold in the RSI and stayed above 90 twice for over a month. It does have strength, but it also has extreme weakness too. So it's definitely volatile. I see it coming down to 20, and if it breaks 20, it's probably hitting 17. That's just what I'm seeing on the charts right now, and I don't know a ton about the company itself or quantum computing in general, but I do agree with his long term that it can have these big spikes and run for sure. So this thing hits, where you think at the bottom. You see this thing around 17 or so. Oh yeah, 17 to 15, gobble it up. Yeah. And, and you're like, yeah. But yeah, I think in the short term it's coming down unless things change in the market. But right now sentiment's still shit. So I think it's coming to 20.
Thunderbird is asking in the chat. I have 120 BBAI shares at 6.20. Should I take the loss if it falls below 5.75? I got greedy and could have sold for a $4 gain yesterday morning. Yeah, I'm waiting for 6 and under on that one. So it's up to you if you want to take the loss. But I mean, what is it? A $60 loss? That's not a big deal, I would assume for you, since you hold Sybil anyways. So you're fine. I think you'll be fine. I would just take the loss if it's not that much. But yeah, I mean, you're buying cheap. You're buying. This is where you buy. You buy at $6, not at $10 or $9, wherever it went to. Too many people they see stocks. They're afraid that stocks are going to keep going down, so they don't buy when it's at a discount. That's what it sounds like to me. But you do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, if I could chime in, I mean, BBAI AI play. It's volatile. It's got spike. It's got hype. It's got buyers. People know it. People like it. Chart looks a little rough. It's either going to stabilize or break down from here. But this seems like a ladder down. You see this at starts at limit orders and ride it back up because it's probably going to move. AI is hot. AI is not in a bubble. I can't remember if I was talking to you or not, Shades, but uh, bubbles don't create massive revenues. I've never seen one where companies are being better and better, and that's a bubble. Bubbles are generally just garbage, hype. AI is not hype. It's actually working. So I don't know about the company itself, but I would average down. I would average down on this just because AI right now.
I would average down as well. Mainly because Zip Trader U made a whole video on BBAI. We took advantage of that pump on that day. So, if Zip Trader U is bullish, I'm bullish long term. I mean, as long as you're patient, you're going to make money. But I have a feeling here Thunderbird just wants to get in and out, and make like $40 here and there. Those people that just want to flip, they're not thinking bigger picture. So any red on the charts, they're going to be like, oh no, I should have sold. So I think if you were just looking to trade it real quick, I mean, take the loss. But if you're looking for the longer term swing to $10, this is at the near the purple line. It's about to go under it, and it's a buy under 6 for sure.
There is something I am noticing though on this chart real fast. It created a higher high from its last peak. If you look at the MACD back in July, the highs there. The MACD was higher than it is now, but it made a higher spike. So I don't know what that means. That there's convergence there. Um,
That means exactly what you would expect. It's probably going to tank. I see it now. So yeah, we should be coming down. Unfortunately, we should. Yeah, we might actually tank.
Okay, plus I'm telling you, that 13 crossed under that 50 too. That's not a good place to be. I watched somebody else, and he swears by the 5 and 13, and he's usually pretty on point. This is definitely coming down the purple line, so I'd still average down on it, but be careful. That purple line, do a lot by, and then have some dry powder underneath of it. But if this thing's going to be volatile, I'm going to check the charts. You can talk about something else, but I'm going to check some options and see what like a wheel strategy on that would look like. If you want to flip it, you can wheel it. So go ahead and talk about something else. I'm going to look at something.
Sounds good. All right, Shade's taking over. Let's look at BBAI real quick again. Yeah, so there's the divergence, right? Higher high, higher low. The MACD is creating a higher low. So this usually means we're gonna start coming down, and it's like when I say coming down, I mean it's gonna come down quite a bit. Like it can actually come down to $4. That's the next big level here. It actually can, which doesn't bode well. We're seeing a lot of stocks right now that are showing signs of we might actually tank more than we might expect. Like we might bottom here on Bitcoin, but if we don't, that's just gonna bring everything down with it, and that includes BBAI. So if it doesn't hold, if it does not hold fives, we go to 4, and at 4 would be like a huge opportunity. Last time it did that, it was nothing but it was nothing more than opportunity. Look, it even dropped as low as 235. So yeah, you're right. I'm gonna definitely. It's gonna have to be next week. Probably for the next few weeks, we're gonna have to play it by ear because this is the kind of market where one headline, one tweet, and we go down. And really, more than anything, until Bitcoin breaks this downtrend, there's no reason to be going long on the riskier stocks. I'll go long on Sound and APLD and on SoFi because I know those are safe. They're getting revenues, contracts, etc. But something like BBAI, I might forgo it anyways. Now that I think about it, it's just BBAI. I would still put it as risky, but. Yeah, no. When there's so much opportunity in the markets, like I said, it's very hard to decide what do I buy. So I'm probably just gonna end up sticking to APLD, SoFi, and Sound because I know those are safe. They got the growing revenues, whereas BBAI doesn't. So yeah, that's just something to think about. Always look at the revenues. I do have a video coming out tomorrow that shows you how to pick stocks like I do. Looking at the purple line, looking at the revenues, because the revenues is all that matters. The bottom line: are they getting increasing demand for their service/product? That's really the question you need to ask yourself when looking at a chart as well. Too many people, they either pay too much attention to the chart and not enough to the sales, or they look at the fundamentals but not look at the charts. When you look at both, then you get the big picture view of not just the company but also the the performance on the charts. And if both are going up, it's hard to lose, right? If revenues keep going up and the stock keeps going up, and it always comes back to the purple line to give you discounts, it's just very hard to lose, right? It just is. So and I'm very focused on playing it safe right now. I'm not gonna really. Right now is not the time to be buying, your short-term dated calls, because you're just gonna get destroyed because we just keep selling off. Anyone who's been buying short-term dated calls these past few weeks have been absolutely. I mean, since October, they've been getting absolutely annihilated because they're trying to time the bottom and hope that it gets a big bounce and we go to the moon. But that's just silly. That's just silly. That's what that is. That's just silly. I'm tempted to wait. I'm tempted to wait to buy $4. Wait, Thunderbird. I am tempted to wait for $4 to buy more BBAI, but I'd be using more margin. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh no. How much margin is he on?
I have 40K in equity and borrowing 21K on my margin. That's why I'm considering cutting it loose, taking the small loss in BBAI. Is Joey Shaw still using margin?
Yeah, I'm still using margin. Get the hell off of margin on BBAI right now. ASAP. You'll destroy your account with that much margin on this volatile of a play in this chart setup. For
I'm
sure.
I'm surprised how many people are using margin, taking out loans in a market that's this volatile, where one headline and it could send it like can send the market just crashing and boom, you're destroyed just like that, or you get margin called just like that.
Yeah, I've been fighting a margin call all week myself. So don't get on. There's absolutely no reason to be on margin in an account, period. If you're trying to make more money, you're going to destroy yourself. And if you haven't been watching my YouTube or my account, I'm showing you exactly what not to do. Get the hell off of margin, especially on these ridiculous plays. Like this is too small of a company right now, too volatile in an area. Volatility isn't risk in a company, but it is when you're on margin for sure. And I was on margin and leverage, and my account tanked in 3 months because I didn't listen to shades and I didn't look at the charts and I didn't execute well. So you're not budgeting your account right if you're on 50% margin. You're not. If you're going to use margin, you need 10% or less because uh, on borrowed money, that broker goes down, they're gonna they're gonna be calling you for sure, and then you're gonna be selling stuff, and you're gonna be in this same bullcrap area that I'm in, where you're like, okay, I'll take this play down and put it over here, and you're gonna be, it's a nightmare. You're not managing your account well if you're on 50% margin. You're not. It's stupid.
And it's really just greed because they want more.
Yeah.
So like, let me use margin. That's probably, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. So give him the talk if you want.
Yeah, I'll give you the talk because, dude, my account lost 60 grand in 3 months because of margin and leverage. And then I had to sell off some things that I didn't want to sell off because of the margin leverage and the stupidity of thinking things were going to go even higher, even though somebody who's better at chart reading was clearly telling me that they weren't. So we got two people right now with experience that are showing you get off margin. I don't want to beat, a dead horse or anything like that, but I don't want to see you blow your account up like I did. So you need to learn from me what not to do. And sometimes it's better to even learn what not to do instead of what to do. So yeah, and it's too small of a company right now. It's too volatile. If you're wrong, yeah, you're gonna destroy your account. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody ever. So get off margin. You don't need it. If you're trying to make bigger wins, just get into better trades. Talk with shades. Talk with people that know what they're doing, and get off margin, and you'll get your account to where it needs to be in due time. If you want to make smaller, riskier bets, that's fine. You can do that, but not until your account is established. Because if your account isn't established and you're making risky bets, especially on borrowed money, and you're wrong, ooh, it's just a bad setup. It's a bad plan. It's not a plan. It's not a plan. It's a bad plan. It's a very bad plan. Uh, and that's what I was doing. So
Let me read the
yeah, I
chat.
was.
Let me see what he said. No, he he stopped talking. He's like, "Oh God, I'm getting berated."
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't mean to but I did it. I lost $60,000 in 75% of my account, 70% of my account down in 3 months because of it. So I just don't want to see somebody else do it. Not berating you. I'm just cautioning you to not do the stupid same mistake that I made.
And unfortunately, there are a lot of stupid people who do they take out loans from a bank, and then they get margin, and then they get like, what I'm saying, they sell off their possessions to scrounge up more money. Like the people will do stupid shit to try and like get rich quick or make like lots of money because I don't know, man. I tried margin once on Schwab, and I immediately called them and told them, please take me off of this because this is not. I don't want nothing to do with this.
It's a bad idea. It's a really, really bad idea unless there's like this create. Like I told him, your account has to be properly managed before. So if you're trying to make those wins off a margin and use money that's not yours, if you're wrong, you just blow your account up. It's bad. It's a gambler's mentality, and I can gamble, and that's what I've been doing in my account, and I don't want to do it anymore. So yeah, margin's not necessary. It's not. Look at Shades. Shades doesn't use it. Shades is doing
Respond. He
extremely
just
well.
he just responded. I'm going to continue trimming my margin. I agree. My ratio is way out of whack. Appreciate your feedback, brother.
All right. Thanks for taking the feedback. I appreciate that.
So, so what we're talking about before we went on on a rant about margin?
I can't remember, but that's another thing that I like to do. I think that's how I bring value to, you know, other people is showing them what not to do. So,
At least, yeah, at least, yeah, because I did watch one of your videos and you're like, yes, I want to build a business and I want to show people, like, yep, I've been there. Let me show you. I have the proof. And I was going to tell you, if you do plan on doing that, you need to, like, after you finish recording your videos, just take a small clip of all the, like, the little important stuff so that you can show them, yep, there's my journey in a nutshell. And here's, January 2025. Here's February, what it looked like. Here's what my portfolio looked like now in November, and then like people can see that and be like, oh, this guy's transparent as F, and he's been there. But just keep in mind that when you do start this, whatever, I forgot what kind of business you said, helping people with finances or whatever. Just keep in
yeah.
mind that uh, just some people, you just can't help them because they don't even want to help themselves first. That's all I got to say. Just remember that.
Yeah, kind of like me when I got that stubborn, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm not gonna listen to anybody else crap. That'll, yeah, you're exactly right. It's great advice. Thank you, Shades.
All right, so what do you think? So I remember we had this conversation. I think like the last show, and I told you like, man, it looks like I think we might come down, and you're like, I don't know, man, maybe not, and so we went back and forth. But what do you think now? Do you think this is going to be, I think, me personally, I think this is awesome. I think this is great. We get to buy real cheap, and I think this crash is absolutely warranted. We've been going up for what, 6 months in a row on the SPY without any kind of pullback. So the fact that we're getting a red month, because that's what it is. We're already 15 days in to the month, and it's a red month. That's what it is so far. It's a red month. So I think it's warranted. It's expected. This is normal. I'm glad that we're taking a breather. And maybe, in my opinion, we get that December Christmas rally. Then in January, everything just kind of, gets quiet because that's usually the case. That's at least my prediction moving forward. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking for the next, few months?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. That we definitely need this pullback for sure. And it's kind of crazy because I mean, compared to April, these are nothing. We had a very small, very, very small pullback in August, or I'm sorry, end of July, and then we had one right there. That October 6th through 10th area was bad, but this is like a blip, especially on the daily and the weekly for the year. But we needed this cool off, so and we're back. We hit below the 50 on the SPY. Yeah, as long as sentiment stays good, data comes out, interest rates still drop in December. Um, and next week, but right now we're in limbo. I don't think that we're coming down hard. I just don't see it, especially, especially if Trump announces daggone stimulus checks. Stimmies come out, oh, this market's gonna run. This market's gonna run. But yeah, I think we're at a bounce and run higher. But next week is going to be some key. Once we get a little bit of data and get some of this uncertainty out of the way, that's when we're going to know for sure. So the next 2 weeks is probably going to tell us what we're going to be doing in the short term.
Thunderbird just said something funny. He's like, an Uber driver told me he was getting a home equity line of credit on his townhouse to invest in crypto and AI plays. To me, this was a flag that the market was headed for a correction.
I don't know. I mean, it's funny without knowing the guy personally. I mean, normally I would say, yeah, if he's just a regular guy that's gonna go get a loan to get crypto, yeah, sounds like a bad idea. But if he's well versed and he's taking out bullcrap fiat credit, and if he's gonna buy shares and hold them and manage it properly, it's a wonderful way to do that. But if he's just taking loans out to willy nilly and he doesn't know what he's doing, yeah, there's probably gonna be a bunch of people that do that stuff. You start hearing it all over the place. Yeah, we're going down.
Well,
But
we're not going down. We are already down.
yeah. I meant we're going down farther, but we haven't even hit that hype cycle in crypto yet. Crypto's really weird right now. We haven't got the Clarity Act. That's still a big catalyst. Inflows are still good. Liquidity is drying up on both Bitcoin and Ethereum exchanges. I mean, crypto has still got that. There's still that big looming catalyst right there. Once that Clarity Act gets put into law, woo, things can change on a dime with that.
Wait.
That's a huge.
What is this? The Clarity Act. What's you got to explain it to the viewers, but also like me, because I'm like, what? Only you know the crypto side of things. What is the Clarity
Uh,
Act? What is the Clarity Act, and what is the current status of that? I guess.
yeah, I forget that some people don't follow crypto as early as I do. Clarity Act is the next form of legislation that's going to be put into law for crypto, and it's this is the big one. The Stablecoin Act was really good, and it was the first one that got things started. As the first piece of legislation, which is huge for the industry. But the Clarity Act actually gives specific classifications of what each crypto is: a security, a commodity, a meme coin. They're going to pinpoint exactly what they are. And that's very important for institutional investors. So that's why crypto has never really done anything up until now, because institutional investors haven't been allowed to invest into it because they have a very big risk tolerance algorithm, if you will. They're managing other people's money, so they can't put them in assets that aren't classified. So it's the wild west. But once that happens, once clarity goes through, institutions will be allowed to have their clients invest into things like crypto. Um, let's see, what else do I need to say about it? There was an update. Let's see if I can find it on my. I took a picture. There was a couple of different things. There was a very important thing about Bitcoin and custody. So basically, crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the big dogs, they're going to be working into decentralized finance, DeFi. That's the whole point of crypto. That's what everybody in crypto wants to happen. And that's just peer to peer. That's people to people. The government's out of it. And the most recent, hold on, let me find it real quick because I don't want to butcher
All right,
that.
I'll distract them while you look up
Yeah,
what you got to look up.
I won't take it long.
Hims is very below the line, the purple line as well. I could buy or wait for more fall. That's a Joey Shaw question. That's we'll ask him after he answers the crypto questions here, because I don't know anything about Hims. So I'm a bear on Hims if anything.
Bad idea. I mean, it's volatile, but let's see. Almost got it. Where's it at? Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, because they put an update. The Senate. Let's see here. There it is. Senate AG releases long-awaited crypto bill draft. They released this. I think it was last week. There's here it is. Here it is. I'm gonna read this one thing. I don't. I'm just gonna read because I don't have it in my screen shared, but it's federal protection for self custody and peer to peer use. So this is in the actual draft right now. The bill explicitly protects the rights of individuals to hold their own private keys, use hardware and software wallets, and conduct peer-to-peer transactions. That statement, I'm gonna read the rest of it, but I'm gonna come back to that statement in a second. Anyhow, individual sovereignty. Congress acknowledges that the fundamental right to self-custody preserves Bitcoin's core philosophy, future-proofed, protects Bitcoin from anti-self-custody regulatory drift while institutions pile in, and then core. This is somebody else's analysis, but it's spot on. Core integrity guarantees Bitcoin's decentralized nature and stays intact during the institutional adoption. So this is monumental for Bitcoin integrity and ensures that the technology's foundational principles remain protected at the federal level. That is epic. Bitcoin's been around for 16 years and nobody's been backing it at all. So I'm going to read this statement again, just this top line. The bill explicitly protects the rights of individuals to hold their own private keys. So that means that nobody on a federal level can touch your crypto that you custody yourself. Use of hardware and software wallets. So just like the wallet you put in your pocket, those dollar bills, federal agents aren't just taking your wallet out and taking dollars out. So your crypto wallets are protected from the federal government. And then you can conduct peer-to-peer transactions. Think about that. The government wants their grubby little hands in absolutely everything. But this statement right here, peer to peer transactions, I can send crypto to anybody without the government having their hands into it. So I can give you money and not have to pay taxes on it. That's what this is telling me. That is enormous. So, does this make Bitcoin fly to $1 million next week or this year? No. Can it hit 200 grand pretty quick? Possible, but this is the long term. So over the next 5 years, the financial system is going to be changing to crypto. That's what this is. So that this bill is enormous, and people have no idea how much power it has. So that's the Clarity Act. Clarity Act is monumental for the crypto industry, and if the wording's not right, it's it's bad. It can be really, really bad. But right now, that draft is looking really, really good. But until it's signed into law with the right wording, it's still up in the air.
Okay, Sharma wants to know hymns below the 200 below the purple line. I should I buy or wait for it to fall more?
Okay.
Because you're the
Sure.
one.
I've got mine.
Are you still holding your hymns, Joey Shaw?
Sure am. Sure am. Sure have my hymns. I have a line right here, and it's bouncing right off my support line at 35. Bounced right off of it yesterday. We got to close above it, so it's definitely a buy, but I would still nimble. Right now, it's low RSI. It's bouncing off the bottom, but I don't know how much strength is there. We still don't have a confirmation crossover on the MACD. The histogram is getting better, but trend is still down, and we're below the purple line, which means we can bounce. But HIMS, it can be volatile, and if we don't get good news on it, we're probably coming down to 30. So I would set an order. I'd buy here for sure on a nibble, 25 to 50% of your position. And then I'd come down at 30. I'd put the other 25% in, and then I'd leave it open for 25. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's how I would play that. Buy here, buy at 30, and then set one for 25. If it never happens, then you put that money somewhere else. Um, and then our first stop is back up to 45. But yeah, I'm looking for 50 to 60 on this play for sure. And it usually doesn't take that much time at all to bounce. The last, let's see here.
Unless it's a bear market.
Yes, unless it's a bear market. If it's a bear market, then I would still average down on HIMS. 25 is probably our floor. Earnings have been doing extremely, extremely well. Subscriptions are up, revenues up, quarter over quarter, year over year. It's a phenomenal company, and they're an advertising genius. So I look at this company more like Netflix than I do as a healthcare stock. It is in healthcare, which is what make it more volatile, but the subscription user base shows the business model more like Netflix. So I'm very, very bullish on this long term. Exponential growth is what I'm seeing for this company. But yeah, short term, I unless we're in a bear market, we're probably not going to drop out of 30. Yeah, buy
Uh,
between 30 and 35.
Thunderbird says, I was considering getting a 50K loan on my 250K of condo equity at 4.5%, then wait for a major correction. Secured borrowing can be cheap in Canada, but I don't think I'm seasoned enough to pull that off yet.
If you're not seasoned enough, yeah, don't do that. So you're already telling yourself that you're not ready for this. So don't do that. You got a great mindset though, because you're borrowing fiat at 4.5%. So you're paying 4.5% a year. So as long as you're getting a better return than 4.5% a year on that money, so let's think about that real quick. What returns more than 4.5% a year consistently? The SPY. Pull it out of there and put it in there for long term. You can do that. That's how billionaires and stuff think. They take dirty fiat, pay a very small interest rate on it, and then put it into appreciating assets. Buy good, solid companies with it and hold it. Don't trade it, or trade a very small portion of it. But if you're not seasoned, don't do it, or take out a very small portion of it and follow shades and go from there. Build yourself up to a bigger, start with 10, build yourself up to 50 later on as you become seasoned.
Yeah, what
Right.
I'm noticing is what I'm noticing from all the people that I've met so far, the new members that have joined the Discord, etc. Patreon.com/ShadesOfTrades joined the Discord today, but I've noticed a lot of people, they have margin, have loans. It's like a lot of people, like they're so they see the gains, right? Oh my god, I made like $1,000, and then that tickles them, and they want to make like, man, if I borrow money, if I have margin, if I got a loan, man, I'm so good at this. I can make like 3 grand. I can make four. I can make more and grow faster. But the thing is, again, I tell people to be patient, be disciplined, be patient, and part of being patient is being patient on the way to growing your account to 100K. 200K, whatever the case may be. Too many people, they want to grow as fast as possible, so they take out all this margin, all these loans, and usually doesn't end well, right? I mean, there's a reason why they offer margin, because they know most people are just losers in the long run. You know that the casino ain't there to help you make money, right? They're not your friend. So
House always wins.
yeah, house always
House
wins.
always The house always wins. Absolutely. That's what I did. I mean, if I wasn't on margin and leverage and I was listening to shades, my account would probably be sitting closer to 100 grand right now, or maybe even more, and it's at 20. So, yeah, get that discipline, take the time, build your accounts up. And yeah, it's a longer game. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5 year game. You don't just make your gains now. I mean, you can 50 grand into an option tomorrow and make $1 million off of it, or you could lose 50 grand in a week. I mean, you can go either way, but having the strategy for the long term is so much better than the short term tactics.
Yeah, what a lot of people don't understand is the stock market is literally it's a game of patience. All you're doing is waiting for the best setups, and then when you do get the best setup, you take the trade, and then you wait for it to go up to your targets, and you make your money. That's all it is. It's literally all patience. Everything is patience. It's a market that pays people who are patient, and that's literally, I don't know why it's so hard to be patient. I guess just a lot of people want to get rich quick because they don't want to work anymore. I think that's the appeal, right? Like, oh my god, I get rich quick in the markets and I don't have to slave 40 hours a week. Woo! And I think that appeal,
Amen.
that is, I think, the biggest reason why, because I've met too many people who tell me, yep, I want to make lots of money so I don't have to work anymore, and so they just take on crazy risks. They just don't want to, they want all that money right now. But if you play it patient and you play it safe, You can get to that point. It might take 5 to 10 years, but you'll get there. But too many people are like, I want 100% right now. Where Sybil stock isn't going to the moon. Like they want the 500% move right now. No, give it time. Be patient. These are companies with real people behind them who have to, they have to grow the business so that they can bring that shareholder value, and then the share price appreciates, you make your money, rinse and repeat. But too many people, like I said, they have the wrong mindset for the stock market, and I've seen too many people get destroyed because of greed. People who are smart getting destroyed by greed. It's actually kind of sad how powerful greed is in the markets.
I did it. Did it. So, and then, like Shades was saying, 5, 10 years. I mean, people see that, hear that, and they're like, "Holy crap! I got to wait 5 or 10 years to get better." Yeah, kinda. And it's really not that long. I mean, think about your life 5 years ago. Where were you 5 years ago? How many things have happened 5 years ago? And you go, "Oh man, that was 5 years ago." It goes by a little quicker than you think. And the more diligent you are, if you play the next 5 years of the market well, the 5 years, the 10 years, the 20 years after that are going to be significantly better because you're going to have more wealth.
Yeah, and people don't think about
So,
that. They're just thinking, but I don't want to wait I don't want to like 5 years. I have to actually like work for it. Yeah, this isn't. If everyone could get rich quick, I mean, what the hell are we even? What are we even doing, right? Like that doesn't make sense. It's you can get rich slow. That much. That's easy. Actually, getting rich slow is very easy. But the thing is, well, it's easy if you have
boring.
patience. If you don't got that, what can I say, right?
Yep. Yeah, people, it's boring. It's really slow getting rich is boring. It's simple. It's easy. Long term, geez, long term's pretty easy, but it's boring. So people don't want to do it. So if you're okay being a little bit bored while you're making money, I mean, come on. You can't ask for everything.
Yeah, that's kind of pathetic. I now that you mention it, that is kind of pathetic. That like, hey, by the way, you can make money if you're patient. It's gonna be boring, but you'll make consistent like income. Like, and it's like you're right because it's boring because there are no thrills, no high, no excitement of oh my god, I just turned I just doubled my money, tripled my money. It's actually kind of yeah, that's kind of sad. Like wow, greed really just man, it turns people that are so smart into just dummies. Like I remember this one girl, she bought color stock at like $8. It went to $44. She was up quite a bit, and I told her, I'm like, you should probably sell because this looks like it's ready to fall. And she's like, no, 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 it's gonna go to 100. No, and then she was so greedy and delusional. Let me just guys, this is how delusional she was. I know this is gonna sound so stupid, right? She looked at me with a straight face because we were talking in a call. She looked at me with a straight face and said, "I know something. I know an insider, and this is gonna go to 100." And I was just I reeled back in my seat. I reeled back in my seat because I'm like, I've never met someone this like they're just so full of greed that they're being just insane. They're just delusional. And I didn't call her out because I was like, I don't think I can help someone that's this far gone. like,
Yeah,
like,
you're gonna
there's
waste all
nothing.
this time and effort.
Yeah, there's nothing I can say that's going to change this person's mind because they're so far gone into the greed is just if there was a greed index for her, that thing was at 1,000,000 out of 100. Like it just broke the needle. Like that was insane. I've never met someone go into delusional, like into that level of delusion. Like it was insane, and she was wrong, obviously, and she just held it all the way back down to her average, unfortunately. And then she left the Discord, and whatever. I'm sure she blames me or maybe whatever. I don't care. The point is, she didn't listen. She was so greedy and she was a smart woman, educated, very smart. But the greed really, I've never seen someone like they became like a different person. Like it was insane.
Yeah, yeah, it can get bad. Also, Shades, real quick, I came up with a new strategy. You know how I like to come up with strategies, kind of like the covered call shank that works, but That's a bull run. So I'm starting to learn that the covered call shank is a bull run strategy. But I started coming up with my swing trade dividend strategy. I want to show you guys this. I think this can very much so help you, all of you. So Shades, this is for you too. Um, we can go on like, it doesn't really matter. Actually, we'll go to SoundHound. So pull up a SoundHound chart. I'm gonna look at this is an option selling strategy too. So we're gonna create our own dividend on SoundHound. Where are you trying to get SoundHound back to? You run it back to 20? That's what I'm seeing. I
I'm
mean, 22
targeting
is the
20 and 25.
2025. Okay, yeah, that's where I'm thinking too. I'm 20 is like minimum is where we're going. Uh, so if you're starting to pile into SoundHound now, I mean, this is you need a little bit of shares. You need at least 100 shares for this. But what I would do, we're at $12. Now it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but we're going to go into, let's see here, second, SoundHound options. We sell covered calls on it, create our own dividend on it, and exponentially increase our gains as we're running this back to 20. We're patient in this Discord anyhow. We're patient in these trades. So I was thinking about it, and I do the wheel strategy. Well, I haven't been doing it in my account because I'm stupid sometimes, but I like the wheel strategy. But options are a great tool. You don't want to use them all the time, but we can sell calls at $20, 1 to 2 weeks out on SoundHound. If that's our target, then just sell those calls. Now, it doesn't look like a lot of money. Right now, you're going to get about, on a 2 week option, you're going to get about 7 cents per share as you're waiting for this to happen. Now, this is a 5 delta. So there's only a 5% chance that it's going to get to 20 in this time. But we can sell these weekly or bi-weekly as we're running up and collect a little bit of income. Even on a weekly, we're making 2 cents per share. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if you got 1,000 shares of this, you're making $20 a week on the way up. And then these premiums increase along the way as the price starts to increase. Now you can start coming out of your options a little bit more when it gets close to the price that when you want to sell, and then switch over to limit orders so you can actually get out of the stock, because Fridays are when options get exercised. But you can make income along the way. If you're going to be holding these trades for the next 1, 2, 3, 6 months, however long, just sell out of the money options, covered calls, and generate income while you're waiting on the trade to play out. Weekly. Don't do monthly, weekly, so you can get out of the contract. That's what I do.
Well, you can do it and let us know the results.
It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
Especially
I don't know if I want to try it, but you can definitely let us know. Like, hey guys, I tried it, and here were my returns. Here's the down. Because I've heard this before from you. I've heard this like, hey guys, guess what I just discovered? And then it turns out that you owe your broker, and that the groceries were paid by the broker.
Yeah, that's funny. But this, I mean, when this one we're just playing, we're not going to be trading the contracts off or anything like that. You're just playing covered calls as they're supposed to be. You're selling your shares at 20. That's what you're doing. You're putting a contract out there that says I'm going to sell 100 shares of stock at 20. I'm going to get paid a little bit of money on the way up.
Wait, but that's
So,
wait,
uh,
whoa. But that ties up your account on the covered calls, right? And let's say SoundHound, pops like $2, which it can do. Then I would have made, if I have 1,000 shares, I would have made way more not having the covered calls at all, and just selling the shares outright.
yeah, well, that's why I'm saying that you always sell your covered call at your target for sure. So I mean, if you're going to get about $2 pop, that's 14. Are you getting out of sound at 14, or are you getting out of sound at 20? This is for the long term hold. Now, sounds a little bit volatile. You can do this on others like SoFi. It'd be great to do it on SoFi. Where are you running SoFi to? You're holding SoFi probably because SoFi looks great.
35 to 40.
Okay, SoFi. You can do the same thing on SoFi. You're going to run that on SoFi. and look at that too real quick.